Hello, Zaec. This is the Collective of Elijah. And in today's transmission, we are going to share with your audience how Spirit views humanity. And the purpose of today's transmission, our desired outcome of your audience understanding this, is for your audience to gain a greater degree of self-love and acceptance for themselves. In reality, the spiritual realm is in love with humanity. But far too often, humanity is taught to view themselves as lesser evolved or less worthy, less deserving of adoration or love or acceptance from Spirit. Humans tend to see themselves as unworthy of spiritual love. That is to say, love and acceptance from the higher realms. Spirit, being in a state of love, existing in a state of love as a way of being, is not able to judge humanity. Judgment is something that humanity does to itself. Spirit has no interest in expressing judgment, condemnation, hate, or any lower emotional expression. Spirit instead chooses to value and honor the courage and bravery that Spirit has to temporarily embody on the physical earth plane. The physical earth plane is simply a physical expression of Spirit. You, as a human watching and listening to this transmission, are actually a spirit listening to these sound vibrations using your physical ears. But this is all spirit at the end of the day. You're simply accustomed to identifying your existence with your physical form. Your physical form is nothing more than a shell. It is a vessel through which your spirit can interact with physicality. Physicality is nothing more than a slower or more dense vibrational state of being. In essence, it is just crystallized spirit. It is all spirit at the end of the day. And so we would wish for you, the viewer, to understand that you are spirit, despite looking in the mirror and seeing a physical human form. You are a spirit animating a physical human form. See yourselves as spirit. Understand yourself as spirit. And you will therefore identify as spirit and live spiritually. To live spiritually is to understand your true nature and to therefore live in accordance with this understanding, which is to love yourself, to accept yourself, to live in a state of innocence, to allow yourself to shine and express authentically as a gift to your Creator, as a gift to the other spiritual beings that you are inhabiting this physical earth plane with. This is your gift. To be spirit in the physical form. You are spirit. You've always been spirit and will always be spirit. When you live your human life with this understanding, life will become more joy, more fun, more play, more pleasurable. You'll be less concerned with your worries, your fears. You'll be more interested in your eternity. The fact that you live into eternity. You have not been born in that sense, and you will not die in that sense. You have always lived. Yes, you live in these different physical incarnations and go through the birth canal at the beginning of each one. And when you transition back into the celestial realm and begin to identify fully with your spiritual being, you will then leave this physical form. But in truth, you cannot die. You will always exist. You have always had existence. This is the hallmark of your life. Meaning that for you to be alive, it means you must always live. And so when you understand this, when you know this, you will let go of fear. You will let go of spending, investing so much of your attention and energy that you use to create. You will let go of using it to create more of that which you fear. And as you do this, as you reconnect with your lightheartedness, your carefreeness, what will you experience? You will experience more of that. You will experience more joy, more fun, more play. You will be less hard on yourself and more in love with yourself as you recognize that Spirit has never judged you. You will understand and know and live from the knowing that Spirit can only love you. What will that do for your life? The quality of your life, what you create in your life when you know at all times, Spirit supports me. Spirit has my back. Spirit's not judging me. Spirit understands that Spirit, that which I am, must experience oneself as a physical being in order to make mistakes, in order to have experiences in a physical way. Spirit knows this. And so as you remember this and choose to walk in this knowing, you will start enjoying life again. You will start to remember that enjoying life, that is to be in joy, to bring joy into the moment, is in fact why you're here. You will start to infuse the light of Spirit into every single moment and create more magic in your life. You will begin to transform your very existence. And as you do this, you become one that other people, other spirits, look to for inspiration on how to do the very same. How they can also walk in that state of knowing. How they can choose to remember what you now know, what they had previously forgotten. And what a gift it is for a spirit to walk in the physical form with the knowingness that they are spirit. To live in that state of remembering who and what I truly am. To live in a state of innocence as a way of being. And to know that I'm moving through life in order to gather and gain new experience through which my soul will gain wisdom, experience joy, experience play and fun, and learning and growth. We're here to grow, to have fun in our pursuit of growth. As you walk in this state of knowing, you will form a very intimate and personal, close connection and relationship with your spirit, your higher self. You will identify less with your ego human mind. That is to say, the lower emotions, the guilt, the shame, the fear, hopelessness, the doubt. You will realize that these are just a part of your human experience, but do not indicate the truth of who and what you are. The truth of who and what you are is love and beyond. As you become more aware of this, this is a practice just like anything else. You will know that when you do experience a human moment, a lower human emotion, that it's okay. You won't become so attached to it, so identified with it. You will allow yourself to experience this human reality, which includes human emotions. You will allow the experience. You won't get stuck on them. You won't trap them in your physical body, in your energy field. The spirit, that being what you truly are, will become your true identity, and therefore you will allow your physical experience. You will not be so fazed by it. You will start to live detached from it. You will also start to immerse yourself into it more, however, not identifying with it. You will immerse yourself into physicality, therefore embracing physicality only because you're identifying as your true spirit. You can only embrace physicality when you have identified as your true spirit. When you identify as the human ego mind, you cannot fully embrace physicality. You will fall into a pattern of resistance towards it. Fear, control, avoidance, repression, suffering. The spirit does not suffer. The Spirit lives in joy. The Spirit lives in love. The Spirit lives in play. The Spirit lives in presence. The Spirit lives in gratitude. The Spirit lives in a state of awe. This is your identity. However, it requires you to choose it as your identity. To choose it as your identity in the moments when you have forgotten, when you have become temporarily distracted by the human emotions. It becomes your opportunity to then choose to let go of identifying with those human emotions and choose instead to identify with the joy of your higher self, with the allowance and acceptance of your higher self. And as you do this more and more, your unconscious mind will start to learn, will start to become accepting and open to this very reality. And you will live in that state of knowing that you are spirit. You will then fall in love with your human self, realizing it is not who and what you are. And you will become aware that it is nothing more than a temporary role that you're playing on a very temporary earth stage. Thank you for this opportunity to be with you at this time, and we look forward to our next transmission with your audience. I really enjoyed today's message from Elijah on identifying with the Spirit and understanding that the Spirit does not judge you. I think this is a unique message that came through today, because I think if you really think about it, a lot of times people are thinking about, how am I thought of or how am I viewed by God, by Creator, by angels, by my ancestors? Are they looking down and judging? And when you think about it, spirit living in a state of love, closer to the divine, it would not make sense for the spirit to judge. I don't think spirit would get anything from judgment. That really is a human game. So thank you for being with us today on this transmission. Please comment below and share with us what you learned from today's transmission, what you enjoyed. And I'll see you here in the next video. Be well.